You learn a new word today, something obscure, something you've genuinely never heard before in your life. And then, by tomorrow afternoon, you hear it again. On the radio, in a conversation, printed on a sign you walk past. Suddenly, this word you never knew existed is everywhere, following you, like the universe is trying to tell you something. It isn't. In 1994, a man in Minneapolis posted a message to an online news group. He had just learned about a German militant group called the Baader-Meinhof gang. Within days, he heard the name mentioned again, completely unrelated to the first time. And then, again. He described the eerie sensation of a word appearing out of nowhere and then suddenly seeming to be everywhere at once. Other people on the forum recognized the feeling immediately. They gave it a name right there in that thread. They called it the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. It wasn't science yet. It was just a shared experience with a strange name attached to it. But the phenomenon itself was already well understood by researchers, under a much less catchy title: frequency illusion.
Linguist Arnold Zwicky at Stanford University is credited with coining that more precise term, and what he described maps almost perfectly onto what that Minneapolis news group had stumbled into. Your brain isn't actually noticing something appear more often in the world. Your brain is noticing something it has recently been primed to notice. Think about it. The word was always there. The people mentioning it were always mentioning it, at roughly the same rate they always had. What changed wasn't the frequency of the word in the world. What changed was you. Here's what's actually happening inside your skull. Your brain is bombarded every single second with more sensory information than it could possibly process consciously. Millions of bits of data pouring in through your eyes and ears and skin. If you tried to consciously register all of it, you would be paralyzed within moments. So your brain does something remarkable. It filters ruthlessly. Most of what enters your senses never reaches your conscious awareness at all. It's discarded before you even know it existed. But some things get flagged, tagged as relevant. And once something gets tagged, your brain's filtering system, a structure deep in your brainstem called the reticular activating system, starts letting it through at a much higher rate. Not because there's more of it, because your filter has changed what it lets past.
Weird, right? You've had a spam filter running in your head this entire time, quietly deciding what counts as noise and what counts as signal. And the moment you learn a new word, notice a new car model, or become pregnant and suddenly see pregnant women everywhere, you haven't changed the world around you. You've changed what your filter considers worth letting through. Psychologist Anne Treisman spent much of her career studying exactly this kind of selective attention, developing what's known as feature integration theory. Her research showed that your brain doesn't process everything equally. It builds a kind of internal search query, constantly running in the background, looking for matches to whatever has recently become salient to you. The Baader-Meinhof effect isn't a glitch in that system. It's proof the system is working exactly as designed. But here's the thing. This isn't just about noticing words or cars. This same mechanism is why breakups feel like the whole world is suddenly full of couples. Why buying a house makes you notice every real estate sign on every street. Why learning about a disease makes you suddenly convinced you might have symptoms of it. Your attention has a search query loaded, and reality obliges by returning results. Not because reality changed, but because your filter did. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman, whose work on cognitive biases reshaped how an entire generation understands the human mind, described something closely related as the availability heuristic, the tendency to judge how common or important something is based on how easily examples come to mind. And nothing makes examples come to mind more easily than having just noticed one for the first time. So what does that mean for you? Every time you feel like the universe is sending you signs, every time a coincidence feels too perfectly timed to be random, every time a name or a number or a phrase seems to be stalking you through your day, you are not witnessing a pattern in the world. You are witnessing your own attention, freshly calibrated, doing exactly what it was built to do. And that's kind of beautiful in a strange way. It means your mind is not a passive camera recording the world exactly as it is. It's an active participant, constantly deciding what deserves your attention and what gets thrown away before you ever notice it was there. You are not a victim of coincidence. You are the author of your own noticing. But here's what changes once you understand this. The next time something feels like fate, a word, a face, a number showing up again and again, you get to ask a different question. Not, why is this happening to me? But what did I just get primed to notice? That question is less mystical, but it's also more honest, and it hands you back something valuable. The knowledge that your brain, this ancient filtering machine built over millions of years to keep you from drowning in sensory noise, is working exactly the way it's supposed to. The world isn't sending you messages. You learn a new word today. Tomorrow, you'll hear it again. And now you know. It was never following you. You were just finally listening for it. If this video finally gave a name to that eerie feeling you've had before, share it with someone who swears the universe keeps sending them signs, with someone who believes a little too much in coincidence. Like this video if it made you see the world a little differently today. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next question goes just as deep. And drop a comment below. Tell me the last coincidence that felt too perfect to be random. What word is about to start following you now? This channel exists because of people who stay till the end. So thank you. Genuinely. See you in the next one.